Final Fight for the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive is finally coming to Sega's 16-bit console 23 years after its original release. My name's Mike, and this is the Retro Gamer Boy Show. We have an exclusive demo for you this week of Final Fight for the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive. This port of Capcom's stunning fighter is being brought to us by 𝗵𝗺𝗃𝗄𝗃, 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗄𝗃 and 𝗵𝗺𝗃𝗃𝗃, and you can find links to all their YouTube channels in the description below. We're going to be doing a playthrough of the first level, then we're going to be doing a deep dive preview into what this dev team have managed to create with Mega Final Fight, and then we're going to be doing a comparison between the Super Nintendo, Mega CD and the arcade version. I'm going to be using the 𝗦𝗂𝗃𝗏𝗃 emulator for the playthrough and for the preview later on. Right, we've got the demo. This is being custom built for us, so thank you very much to the team that have put this together. The first thing we've shown is that we can choose between two game modes. We've got this mode here, which is arcade mode, which looks like it's the classic arcade game. You've got the credits in there, there's no high score, in free play, friendly fire's already on, and it's the 90s classic arcade game we all remember. And then we've got Mega Final Fight, and there's a ton of stuff in here. Achievements, secrets, normal, dash and turbo speed, and blast processing included, of course. Right, so we're going to go with the Mega version. I'm going to play through the first level, I think, of this, and then we're going to go on to that full, more in-depth preview of what these guys have managed to achieve with Mega Final Fight. Right, let's kick this off. I guess that's one way of making sure that I don't pirate this and send it out to everyone else. Brilliant. Ooh, look at this. Nice fonts. Very Capcom. Oh, this is very good so far. I mean, it's only one screen, but you know, looks like the arcade game. It looks like the Mega CD version. Now, I've sent the guys some questions about the demo they've sent me. One of them is just which version of the game inspired them, and this very much looks like the Mega CD version. Especially that sampled telephone soundtrack there. Oh, the soundtrack. Brilliant. Animated intro. Do you know what? There's a lot of people that lament the sound processor on the Sega Mega Drive and Genesis. I love the tunes that come from it. And all the interpreted tunes from arcade games that came down. Oh, they got the laugh in there. It's a bit risque. Probably never saw this on the Super Nintendo version. I love how they got a little detail of the studio name on the TV there as well. Very cool. Good intro. Now, will they have them punching the mirror? That's the big question. Because I think they've got that in the Mega CD version, haven't they? Where they turn around and they smash the mirror. Or they're actually talking into the mirror, aren't they? No. Meanwhile, in 2027. Well, this is not in the original. So we're in the future now, and we're going to have to go back. Hey? What's going on here? This is all new. Interesting. I have no idea what's going on here. So I'm playing someone else now. In the future. Ah, Captain Commando! Awesome! Awesome! So, can you play him? Let's check this out. Right. On start, what do we get? Okay, so we can choose the Mega Drive version, Mega Drive version, or the arcade version here. We've got some options. Hang on, I want to go into options. Options. What have we got in options? 2-player. I will cover 2-player in the full preview when we go in depth. I'll tell you what that's like. I'm going to make it easy. I'm an old man. Judge me in the comments. 2-player, friendly fire on. Yep. Okay, cool. Right, let's go out. All the kind of stuff I remember from being on the original version, or at least the Mega CD version. Okay, we want Mega Drive mode. 1 or 2 players. Let's go. Yeah! 𝗦𝗂𝗍𝗴𝗃. So already more characters than you get on the Super Nintendo. Whee! Look at this! Ah, there it is! Captain Commando! Okay, we can't select him at the moment. So not playable yet. Maybe we'll unlock him later on. 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗃, Cody, Guy. Right, we got 5 characters in this mode. This already makes it one of the best versions of Final Fight. Do we go with someone traditional? Or do we go... Well, we can't do Captain Commando, it looks like. Let's try 𝗵𝗃𝗃, because we know how the others play, and I'll cover those guys in the preview. Oh, very... Ooh, look at this! This looks good. I mean, you can see from the off, right? There's the typical thing of Mega Drive colours. Hasn't got the full palette of the other machines. But from memory, this looks very much like the arcade, or at least the Mega CD version. Yep. Oh, this is good. Look at the size of those sprites. I am very, very, very excited at the moment. This is absolutely brilliant. It's super responsive, really fast. All the sound effects. How have they done this? What's that move? I have no idea how I'm doing that move. Right, if I press the 2 buttons together, do I do my special? Let's have a look. So that's my special. How am I doing that? I don't know how I'm doing that. Now it says you got dash. Let's see if we got dash. Ooh, that's a dash move. How cool is that? That's very, very nice. A nice dynamic. That's going to change battling, because obviously you don't have a dash in the originals. Oh, it takes over control, takes you through exactly like the Mega CD version, the arcade version. I don't think you got it in the SNES version. I think, do you know what? We'll have to look at a comparison, and it's going to be down to personal opinion. But from just memory, I think this has a few more things that the Super Nintendo version doesn't have. Now, which is to be expected, right? This game's been made in 2022, and the Super Nintendo version was made back in the mid-90s. Blood. Oh, I can't wait to do the comparisons across the Mega CD, the arcade, and the Super Nintendo. This is Final Fight. This is Final Fight on the Sega Mega Drive. Unbelievable. How they've achieved this, I don't know. Look at that. Look, the lights are changing and coming on like they do in the arcade game. So they're all off. And then they change and cycle through. Unbelievable. This is very impressive. I wish you guys could play this, because it is so reactive, so responsive. Okay, so a few colours missing. So we're getting that kind of Mega Drive brown in there. But to be honest, given how many different characters with their different colour schemes we've got going on, I'm not at all offended by it. I think, you know, this feels authentic. Look at the size of him! I am blown away with what these guys have achieved. Oh my God, look at this. It plays, I kid you not, it plays like I'm playing the Mega CD version. At the very least, it plays like that. I've got the arcade version. I'll get that out as well and have a go on that. But super fast, super responsive, genuine sound effects. The audio track is great. It's got everything I love about the Sega Mega Drive audio processor, whilst keeping to that original soundtrack as well. Or at least the Mega CD version of the soundtrack. Wow, he's got a lot of energy. Let's see if we can get him down. Try this dash move. Oh, how am I doing that? How am I doing that? Is it down? I want to know how I'm doing that kick. Ooh, is it forwards then backwards? No. I don't know how I'm doing that move. Very cool though. Do you know what? The guys, when they sent this to me, and I think they had it on that front screen there, right? They said the game is full of bugs and they're still working on it. This is pretty polished. I mean, I've noticed one or two small things, but for a development build, this is pretty astounding. She looks great. I mean, she looks great, but she also looks great. So I wish they could have put her outfit just a little bit more red in her outfit there. She's quite brown. If she could get a red gi on her, that would be brilliant. But again, I don't know how many colours these guys got to play with. Right, first level done. Kind of tempted to see what the beginning of the second level looks like. We'll look at the beginning of the second level, and then I'll move on to preview. Oh, it's got the soundtrack. Oh, okay. We'll play a little bit more. This is brilliant. Look at those sprites. Of course, we can have women in this game because it's a Mega Drive game. I don't think the Nintendo version allowed you, or didn't have the women in the game. Okay, we've got to get to the part of the chorus, which I love in this level. It's my favourite tune in the game. Absolutely astounding, right. Okay, there's a bit of a bug there. Oh, this is it. I love this bit of the soundtrack. Oh, it's brilliant. Right, bit of a crash there. That's okay. We'll go into the full preview now. I'm going to play a little bit more of the game. Needless to say, I am blown away by what these guys have managed to achieve. Right, let's dig a little bit deeper into Mega Final Fight. Mega Final Fight is so much more than a port. Just having a port of this seminal game on Sega's 16-bit console is in and of itself amazing, but to get something unique is phenomenal. Combat is fluid and fast. We played Final Fight CD and Mega Final Fight at the same time and noticed no differences in animation speed or CQC gameplay. There was also no noticeable slowdown either when enemies were on screen. The game is Final Fight and is one of the best ports I've played when it comes to combat gameplay. You're able to choose between 6 game modes: arcade mode, Mega Drive mode, 2-player mode, time trial, survival and boss rush. The team have been inspired by the Mega CD port for their work on this game, and when you play through the arcade mode, this is pretty much what you'll get. Where this port starts to lift its head above what's come before it is in the Mega Drive mode and extra game modes. To start with, there are 5 playable characters and a new storyline. As well as the traditional story of Hager's daughter being kidnapped and him being blackmailed, the team have woven in Captain Commando into the story. Captain Commando is being sent back to 1989 after a time travel device was found showing that his nemesis 𝗏𝗂𝗏𝗏 may have used it to travel back in time and change history. I'm very excited about this new story arc, as it could mean new levels and new boss battles. What we do know is that it does mean 2 new characters, Captain Commando and 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 from Final Fight 2. In the demo, only Captain Commando is not playable, but all other characters are. And having played through with 𝗵𝗺𝗃, I can tell you that they have perfectly balanced her moveset with the battle structure of Final Fight. Fighters also have the ability to double tap dash attack, and there seems to be some additional moves, although at the time of putting this show together, I've not yet figured out how to perform them on purpose. The demo does support 2 players, although the dev team says that there can be some performance issues, but they're working through these. To be honest, we played through the demo several times and found no slowdown or degradation in the gameplay or visuals. The game had a solid frame rate and held up well with the extra character on screen. Mega Final Fight comes with 3 additional game modes: Survival, Time Trial and Boss Rush. In the demo, only Survival is up and running. It's a lot of fun and the new background adds a lot to the mode. Currently, only your score goes up, but what would be great is also to see the total number of enemies defeated. The game comes with all the options you'd expect: power configurations for both players, difficulty levels, number of lives, friendly fire options, extra life milestones, and you can choose a measurement unit, and of course there's a jukebox. When it comes to visuals, Mega Final Fight more than holds its own against the other releases. As I said before, the team are using Final Fight CD as inspiration for the port, and so it's very true to that version. The number of colours obviously takes a hit being on the Sega Genesis, but again, the team have done a fantastic job with the palettes here. The differences are minor, and the work done managing the limited palettes is nothing short of genius. The game is superior to the SNES version when it comes to sprite accuracy, with Mega Final Fight sharing very similar sprites and effects to the arcade version. This makes a lot of sense, as the Mega CD did the same, and this is based on the Mega CD version. The visuals are also not censored, with blood particles and scantily clad female enemies present in this port. The game has all the nice little transition touches included, like doors opening and closing as enemies come from the building, or your characters transitioning off screen and then a fade to black. Everything you love about the arcade version with regards to this seems to be included in Mega Final Fight. The audio also deserves a special mention. Now, I'm not an expert on the differences between the 2 sound chips in the CPS2 and the Mega Drive, but they both have an FM synthesis sound to them, and so whilst the SNES has an interesting interpretation of the soundtrack and the Mega CD has probably the best OST for any of the ports, it's actually the humble Yamaha YM2203 sound processor that gives us the closest rendition to the arcade. And hats off to the audio design here, because again, like everything in this port, it is stunning. The punches and impacts, barrels breaking, and the awesome soundtrack are faithfully recreated. The only area where I heard a sound struggle was on the phone ringing sample in the intro. Other than that, it's a masterpiece. Now next up we have a comparison video taking a look at Mega Final Fight running against the SNES version, Mega CD version and arcade. Make sure you drop down into the comments below and let me know what you think of these comparisons. Am I right? Does it stand up to the arcade version? Is it better in some aspects to the SNES version? And just before we jump into that comparison video, there is an issue with my sound recording on the sound card for this capture footage. So for the Mega Final Fight version, it's not as crisp and as loud as it could be, so just bear that in mind when you're listening to the different audio tracks. a stunning port of Final Fight. I only wish that you guys got the opportunity to play through this demo. I've had a stupid amount of fun playing through this game over the last 2 weeks, and I can't wait for its full release. Now, talking about a full release, they're going to be releasing it hopefully by the end of this year, which just blows my mind that they've managed to do so much work in such a short relative amount of time. Now, obviously they won't be able to do a physical release because this is a port of someone else's IP, but you guys know what the indie scene is like. No doubt someone is going to pick this up and release physical versions of the game itself. But remember, these guys have put all the effort into it. So make sure you jump over to their YouTube channels, sign up for any memberships they've got, or contribute to the patrons they may have to help them as they develop this absolutely amazing port for our Sega Genesis and Mega Drive. Now, if you enjoy content like this, if you love the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive, if you love retro gaming, then why not consider subscribing? You can do this by clicking on a little button just below this video. We put out brand new shows every single Monday, and so that you never miss it, you can also click on a little bell just below this video. Now, if you can't wait until Monday, don't worry, because we've got a huge back catalogue of retro gaming videos for you to enjoy, 2 of which you can watch over here.